Distinguished experts and partners of the AICCRA project, ladies and gentlemen, good day. And welcome to the launching day for Dialogue 3 of the project, Accelerating the Impact of CGIAR Climate Research for Africa. First of all, I will start by thanking everyone for making time, regardless of the difference in time zone and circumstances, around how and where we work to attend this launching event. Let me introduce myself. My name is Yaiken Gassama, and I'm professor in plant biotechnology at University Cheikh Anta Diop de Dakar, acting also as chair of the African Union High-Level Panel on Emerging Technologies. And today I have the great pleasure to be with eminent experts and AICCRA partners to facilitate this session 3, validating climate smart agriculture CSA innovations through piloting. As you know, the AICCRA project is uniquely designed to help African countries to strengthen the resiliences of the agricultural sectors faced with the threats posed by climate change. CSA is an overwhelming opportunity to change our approach to planning and investment for agricultural growth and development. And this project builds on science-based knowledge and existing experience on CSA that contributes to climate adaptation and mitigation. And the overall objectives of the project is driving, accelerating, and delivering innovative ideas with high impact in food systems throughout a spatial temporal planning and scaling on efficient SCI business models. This strategy gives rise to new and increased demands for collective action in order to catalyze and accelerate uptake of CSA, thus bundling solutions and business models, combining CSA practices, climate information services, and financial supports require even more combined action from academia, from research, public and private sector, civil society stakeholders at the international to local levels. Innovative practices and business models driven by technology-savvy youth are more likely to be adapted to local contexts, adopted and absorbed by farmers and livestock keepers. Local innovation on CSA practices promoted by youth entrepreneurship have a great potential to empower rural smallholders, including localized and real-time advisory services. Youth bear a great potential to disrupt traditional process, unlock innovative market opportunities, and deliver significant socioeconomic benefits to spark rapid climate-smart agricultural transformation. At another level, we should be aware about the strengths and the responsiveness of national and local institutions that are key to a successful implementation of CSA. Coordinating the development of evidence-based new CSA policies by local institutions toward climate resilient agriculture, bringing adequate evidence and assessment tools that are largely accessible to decision makers are prerequisites to develop and support CSA effective policies and strategies in country at local level. In the field of CSA finance leveraging, we recognize that in Africa, public sector is likely to be the most important source of climate finance for CSA in developing countries in general. including bilateral donors and multilateral financial institutions. So channeling climate finance through national instruments to support institutional investments represent an important step toward a long-term climate resilient development in agriculture. Nevertheless, private sector investing in technologies, in mobile technologies, in digital, drones, energy, etc. Banks and foundations, as well as philanthropic associations, are potential partners that can accelerate adoption of practices for increasing resource use efficiency. So ladies and gentlemen, this session, Validating CSA Innovations Through Piloting, is aiming to emphasize meaningful initiatives in relevant contexts of scaling specific and successful CSA packages on climate information services. And today we have the great pleasure to invite experienced experts and partners, key actors in the value chain and financial sector, to deliver inspiring and innovative stories on promising pathway and actionable solutions to accelerate the sustainable CSA uptake at scale that increases smallholders farmers' incomes and adaptive capabilities. Now at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce our first speaker, AICCRA Costa, Global Climate and Business Coordinator, FNV Netherlands Development, for the keynote presentation on building partnerships and strengthening capacity of key regional and national institutions for delivery of climate smart innovations in agriculture. Dr. AICCRA Costa, you have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me to this to present some of the experiences of SMV on innovative partnerships on climate smart agriculture. Let me start my presentation. Okay, let's maybe start presenting myself. Good day. My name is AICCRA Costa. I'm joined SMV last year as the global lead on climate and business. I've been working over 20 years in development, sustainable development and natural resource management in Latin America, Africa, and the Balkans. SMV, the Netherlands Development Organization, has worked with over 300 companies in 33 countries across Africa, Asia, and Latin America, developing climate smart agriculture and energy solutions. So today I will invite you to think about 3 projects we are currently implementing, and I chose 3 examples of projects that are incubating, accelerating, and scaling climate smart agriculture solutions, basically to tackle the key challenge that we need to overcome. SMV thinks that there's an urgent need to catalyze private sector investments, its innovation capacity, and financial leverage. And these projects present their currently opportunities. Currently, most business do not fully understand their exposure to climate change or recognize the growing business opportunities in climate action. And the climate and business program at SMV focuses on 4 main areas of results to make this happen. The first one is kickstart climate smart markets. The second one, shifting towards climate smart practices. Finally, leveraging finance for scale and enabling environment. Let me go into these examples and start with the first one on STAMP, satellite guiding pastoralism in the Sahel. STAMP is a project developed together with the Netherlands Space Offices and funding from the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And basically, it is an innovative business proposal owned and run by a commercial organization, Orange, the telephone company in Mali, Orange, who has developed an innovative climate information service that offers simple mobile phone users against a modest fee subscription. It offers information, instant access to weather information and reliable information on biomass availability and quality, surface water availability, hard concentration, market prices for livestock and staple grains, making use of geodata and satellite information. What's interesting of this initiative is that it's developed with the private sector, together with Orange, but also with Hoefslot Spatial Solution and Action Against Hunger and other local partners. The data is being stored, processed, and transformed to deliver information that will reach 75,000 pastoralists in Mali, and we are currently expanding also to Burkina Faso with the aim to reduce livestock mortality, improve productivity, and income from livestock sales in the future. The second example I wanted to present to you is more on bringing and multiplying this type of successes and innovations. It's the Climate Resilient Agriculture for Tomorrow program in East Africa, also funded by the Dutch Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which basically is an application of an inclusive business approach to climate smart and resilient agriculture. Together with Wageningen, CCAFs, Agriterra, Rabobank, an innovative partnership has been created to increase the productivity and income of 300,000 smallholders farmers, improve business performance of agribusinesses and cooperatives, and provide climate smart food production in 600,000 hectares. The key activities that we are engaged in this project resemble very much the introduction of the key focus areas of the climate and business project of SNV. We provide and test the applicability of climate smart agriculture technologies in these different countries. We provide climate risk analysis together with our partners on major food value change in these areas. We help development of business cases, climate smart investments, and help leverage investments and facilitate access to finance, particularly with the support of Rabobank in this case, and as well as working on policy influence. So a good example on how to accelerate and multiply, have a multiplier effect. And the last example I want to present on innovative partnership with the private sector is the Dutch Fund for Climate and Development. And this is really about scale. And as you may notice, the ticket size of these programs is much bigger. We're talking about 5 to 20 million investment cases. It's a program launched in November 2019 by the Dutch government, who provided 160 million seed funding to a partnership of FMO, WWF, Climate Fund Managers, and SNV, with the aim to mobilize $500 million investments of the private finance towards resilient communities and ecosystems that are most vulnerable to climate change. So the SNV role here is mainly in the origination facility, which is a 30 million origination facility, to bring business cases to an investable and bankable project. So the origination facility identifies and sources business cases, work with the counterparts to structure this project, prove the bankability within a landscape approach, and provide technical assistance to graduate these business cases to investable cases that can later be funded by the land use facility and the water facility that is managed by FMO and CFM. So what can we learn from these projects? I think I took out four main lessons. I think the first one is that the most exciting innovations actually happen on the ground, close to the users. Strong involvement of local leaders, service as ambassadors is key. I think we have to realize that farmers, project managers are innovating all the time. This is where you don't need the Stephen Jobs to do innovation, particularly when there are limited resources. Innovation is a must. Second, agile and flexible project management is required to adapt to climate change, particularly when dealing with incubating and accelerating innovations. I think a key is key factor for success is experimenting and learning from your failures. And there we have to accept that there's no planning for success in project management. We have to, from the design, risk has to be part of the project design. The third is private sector and commercial stakeholders can be a good partner in experimenting and of new prototype design of business cases on climate solutions. I think we have learned that private sector can sometimes be faster than non-profit organizations and help us to source, accelerate, and multiply impact and knowledge. And finally, I think to design every climate smart agriculture project to achieve scale, it is key to understand the private sector role in the theory of change. I think these three examples show us that private sector can play different roles in incubating, accelerating, and scaling solutions. And we have to recognize that it will not be the same team that will take an idea to scale. And there is an urgent need for collaboration with the private sector. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Costa, for this insightful presentation, highlighting the important role of the partnering between bilateral institutions with private sector through three relevant initiatives aimed to strengthen local capacity to spark and scale CSA business models. Thank you so much. And I would like to hand over to Peter Ladrach, Flagship 2 leader, AICCRA, Alliance Biodiversity and CIAT, to moderate the project showcase session. So thank you so much. Peter, Mr. Ladrach, the floor.
Thank you so much, Yaya, for the kind introduction. So we have a very exciting session ahead now for the next 20 minutes. We're going to be seeing and witnessing three showcases, project showcases, initiatives, existing great examples that we can all learn from and incorporate in AICCRA and other projects that we're working on. So we'll have three presenters introducing either their slide or a short video. So we'll start out with Jennifer Barn from HERF, Agribusiness Deal Room. Jennifer is the head of partnership at HERF. So she'll talk to us about catalyzing investments and partnerships for Africa's agricultural growth. Thank you so much, Jennifer. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Peter. And I'm not sure whether my slide is visible, but I'll start talking anyway. We found ourselves for a major challenge. The slide is a bit busy, but I will quickly go through what it is that we actually do. As mentioned by Peter, I'm the acting managing director for the AGRF and also head of partnerships at AGRA, and I'm managing what we're calling the Agribusiness Deal Room. And what is it? It's a matchmaking platform that brings together investment opportunities, both public and private, and matches them not just with investors like private equity investors or other type of technical investors that are looking for projects that they can finance, but also with partnership opportunities, with programs, with capacity, knowledge sharing. It's really the entire ecosystem coming together and rallying around critical investments. In the past 3 years, we've grown the Agribusiness Deal Room from starting very modestly in Rwanda with only 18 companies to a platform that actually showcases close to $10 billion of both public and private investment opportunities. And what brought us to this space? And before even telling what brought us there and how it's related to climate change, I also wanted to flag one of the strengths is that we're actually a partnership. There are 22 partners from across the ecosystem who are working together to make sure that we bring this entire pipeline in front of investors and other type of opportunities. So what actually led to this platform and how is it related to climate change? We know that actually agriculture and agribusiness can grow into a potentially a $1 trillion industry. But in order to get there, we need to invest and we need to align. And we also need to be inclusive. We know that we have $100 billion per annum gap in terms of public and private investments that need to go into the sector. We also know that there's actually limited coordination around particular investments from the design stage all the way to making sure transaction happens, making sure also that they become profitable, and also then also inclusive and holistic and manage natural resources sustainably. We want to change that and really rally a whole ecosystem around particular investments. We also know that there's low visibility of a pipeline and that transaction costs are quite high. I really liked what Harko mentioned in his presentation early in saying that the private sector is actually very critical in coming together and helping to either amplify certain models, scale them, but also to make sure that we almost create like a Silicon Valley of new ideas and innovations that help to address climate change. So the Agribusiness Deal Room has been now running for 3 years. We've already closed one of our business deals successfully. And we have come across many opportunities, but also challenges. One of the key learnings that we've learned is number one, at least 20% of the different SMEs that are coming to the deal room and also projects are not even viable to be presented to investors because of a lack of preparation, etc. Another 20% has a lack of follow-up capital. So we're very interested in the Dutch Climate Fund for seed capital to basically help many of these projects to go through due diligence, etc. Nevertheless, there's still 44% that actually has high investor interest. And what will make the difference between a successful closure or not is really the coordination around that particular transaction, all the way from the enabling environment to the entrepreneurs involved, to the investors also being aware, the market research being in place, and we want to play a role in actually strengthening that. A second learning that we had is also that when it comes to climate and resilient-based investment opportunities, the pipeline is actually even murkier in terms of where are they, what support do they require, but also where is there a growing and emerging client base, such as SME entrepreneurs who are ready to absorb investment services and products such as renewable energy, etc. So we have said we're going to make an additional target in the Agribusiness Deal Room of a minimum of 20% of our SMEs and investment opportunities should be climate and resilience-based investment opportunities. So my call for action is also, given the success that we've had so far, where are all the partners and the programs that can come on board of this platform and help to scale and amplify the efforts that we have taken so far. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you, Jennifer. So we've heard it all, right? The business deal room is really the place for us to come together, to connect with businesses, with investors, to scale CSA and climate information services to thousands and hopefully millions of farmers. And great to see that your target is 20% of climate resilient investment. So we'll be working closely with you and your team together. Thank you, Jennifer. The next speaker is from AGRA. So we're honored to have Hassan Ngombe, a resilience officer. So he will talk to us and introduce a video of the AGRA Regenerative Agriculture Project in Makueni, Kenya. Please, Hassan, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's meeting. I'm here to really just introduce to you an innovation that AGRA is working on, regenerative agriculture, as an adaptation tool or technology within the ag transformation journey that AGRA has just been involved in. So this project is based in Makueni in Kenya, where it is targeting approximately 10,000 farmers through an innovation within this program of a private-based extension system called the village-based advisor model. The adaptation technology is really around preservation of soils for better yields and for a better environment within the farming system. This particular project focuses on an integrated approach, which looks at farmer level interventions, policy level interventions, as well as support the SME environment within this agriculture community as a way of promoting sustainability and a long-lasting project effect within this particular community. As mentioned earlier, we are targeting 10,000 farmers. We have 200 self-employed extension services staff, and we're working with the county government at policy level and institutional level strengthening. Another key element of this particular project is to generate information or knowledge to help not only ourselves, but also our stakeholders in ensuring scaling up and scaling out this initiative. So I'll invite you now to this video. Please enjoy it and take notes, as we'll be available to take questions and contributions after this particular session. Thank you very much.
A mother demo is a plot for others to learn, so that the practices that I've done, they can also go and do them at their farms. I have 4 plots. The first plot, I have done mulching, minimal soil disturbance, also applied fertilizer and manure. I've also done intercropping. We have pigeon peas, we have sorghum, and also we have green grams. Then in the second plot, I've done reaping, application of manure, and also intercropping. In the third one, I have used a little fertilizer, reaping, and intercropping. Then in the last one, I've done just the traditional farming. As you can see, in the second one, the production is not as much as in the first one. Same with the third one. And the last one, the yields are very, very minimal. It means if I continue with the RI practices, the yields will go higher. My relationship with the seed companies is good, because from the seed companies, I get inputs. I come and try the inputs from my farm. The farmers learn from my farm. Then, after this, I sell to them. Then, I get the commission from the seed company.
What the fielders do is bring what is working in the field closer to the farmer and to raise awareness on the different regenerative agriculture approaches so that the farmer can pick and adopt and implement what is working in the farm.
When I bought this land, it was actually denuded land and it looked neglected. Kwa hivyo sasa wakati nilianza kulima, nilihakikisha hizo manyazi zote, hizo makwekwe zote zilikuwa zimemea, nimezihifadhi hapa kwa mchanga. Sikuzipeleka popote. Na ndipo unaona hata makwekwe na hizi crop residues zimebaki katikati ya mimea zangu. And you can also see my soil is full of humus from the decomposing grass that I cultivated from all this area. As you can see, my maize is giving me 2-2. So this is from the efforts of regenerative agriculture. I have actually regenerated my soils to their natural virginity, and that's why I am able to get such a yield. This is a baby demo. There is the mother demo at Kidhoni. Went through all the processes and we saw what came out of that demo through the help of village-based advisors. They help us through the purchases of inputs, and when I get my mains, they also assist me on that.
Thank you, Hassan, for the introduction and the really inspiring video. I really especially liked the mother demo or the demo plots and how farmers come together and learn from each other. And I think an important angle is also the connection to the seed companies, and so how it's already embedded this in a sort of a business model. And also the farmer shows that we saw there, really nice. Thank you so much, Hassan. So we move now to the next video, which is from SNV Craft Project. So we already heard a bit from Harko on that. So we have the pleasure to hear and see Godfrey Kabuka, and he will talk to us, introduce the project and example from Tanzania. Please, Godfrey.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. Thank you, the team. I'm Godfrey Kabuka, the Senior Advisor for Craft Project here in Tanzania. Good that I have this adventure to highlight the video that concerning our champion who has been enrolled by our project Craft here in Tanzania. So the video that we'll be watching comprised of a champion named Jakima Enterprise Company Limited, a company founded in 1999 here in Tanzania, but operating from Dodoma region in its 2 districts of Ubahi and Chamwino district. The company deals with buying, processing, and selling sunflower grain and the associated product. Yeah, so the video will show some challenges that faced by the company prior to the intervention with Craft. Among the problem was the unavailability of enough volume of sunflower that were predicted by the unpredicted weather condition, as well as poor farming skills by majority of sunflower farmers. So in it, you will also see some of the service that have been offered by Jakima to the contracted farmers, which among the service included distribution of the resilient sunflower seed that are early maturing, drought resistant, and highly productive. Also, they are disseminating weather information, which are synthesized, and also conducting training on CSA practice to the contracted farmers. Among the CSA practice that shown include usage of resilient seeds, conservation or minimal tillaging, intercropping and mulching, timely planting, and fertilizer application. And as a result of this CSA practice, in the video you will see key results of the Craft Jakima intervention, which there is a direct increase in productivity from say 3 bags to 10 bags per acre, and increased farmers' participation from the minimal number up to 6,000 to now, and also increased the tradable volume of the company by almost 30%, and it is directly sourced from the contracted farmers. So welcome to watch the video that showcases CSA practice in sunflower value chain in Tanzania under the Craft project to the Jakima Company Enterprise Limited. Hope you'll enjoy. Thank you.
Jakima imewatayarishia mbegu ambayo itakuja kwa nusu ya bei kwa wale wanachama. Kila mkulima atapata mbegu kwa ajili ya eka moja ya mfano.
Huu mradi wa Craft kutoka SNV tumeona ni nafasi sisi ya bora ya kuweza kujiunga, na hili ilikuwa ni lengo kwa ajili ya wakulima wanapolima kule kijijini, walikuwa wanalima bila kujua mazingira ya hali ya hewa. Tukaona tuhamasishe wakulima waweze kupata mbegu bora wakati wa msimu sahihi, tuweze kuwaelekeza jinsi ya kupanda, ili wanapopanda, wanapokuja kutuuzia sisi wameshapepeta vizuri, tunapata mbegu ambazo sisi tunazihitaji na sisi zinatuletea faida.
Hii mbegu ni mbegu ambayo kwanza inavumilia ule ukame kutokana na hali halisi ya mazingira ya Dodoma. Kwa hiyo tunaamini production itatoka pale tulipokuwa tunapata gunia 2-3 hadi kwenda gunia 8, 9, 10.
Na hii imewavutia watu wengi sana kushiriki katika kilimo cha alizeti. Watu tulishaanza kujikatia tamaa kwa ajili ya mbegu.
Sisi kama wakulima, baada ya kupatiwa mafunzo na Jakima, Tulikubaliana kwamba watakuwa wanatutumia mabadiliko ya tabia nchi au utabiri wa hali ya hewa kwenye simu. Ninapoandaa shamba najua na mbegu yangu ninayoipanda ina siku 110 au 120. Kwa hiyo naangalia majira ya mvua.
Kumsainia mkulima mkataba inapendeza zaidi kwa sababu anakuwa na uhakika kwamba anachokifanya ni kitu gani, na sisi inatusaidia kwamba tunapoenda kijijini kununua bidhaa, wenyewe wanajua kwamba hao tulisainiana nayo mkataba, na pengine tumewapa mikataba ambayo sio migumu sana ya kuwafunga. Tumewaambia sisi tunanunua alizeti kwa bei elekezi.
Sintonyonywa sana kama kipindi cha nyuma, kwa sababu nitakuwa nimetia saini na mkataba, ninakuwa najua kwamba hata ninapoenda shambani ninakuwa najua labda debe lina uzito wa kilo kadhaa, labda ninakuwa nauza shilingi 8,000 au 10,000. Basi kwangu ni manufaa fulani.
Mpaka sasa hivi tunaendelea kufanya kazi na vijiji 9 mpaka tutakapofika kwenye mwisho wa mkataba ambao itakuwa ni 2021, tutakuwa tumefikia vijiji 17 ambao tutakuwa tumepata wakulima wapatao 6,000.
Thank you so much, Godfrey and SNV for another inspiring video. Really exciting session here, and it sets well the scene for us, the stage for us in AICCRA. So if I can quickly summarize a bit the 3 presentations and the take-homes that I've been writing down here. So it really targets what we're going to do and what our challenge is in AICCRA. So it's identifying the good practices and technologies, CSA and CIS, and how to bundle them. So we saw that in the videos, some good examples, some learning from there. And then how do we develop business models for those to get to scale, to reach thousands and hopefully millions of farmers. And then also the other important point is on how to leverage finance, right? Because scaling also needs finance. So how can we bring finance to smallholder farmers? So the matchmaking that we heard from Jennifer, how can we develop business models, and how will we de-risk agriculture to attract investments? So very, very inspiring videos and introductions from the 3 of you. Thank you so much. I think we have a couple minutes to take a question. So I have here a question maybe to all the panelists and chairs even. So the question is here, I like the words from Yaye that use can disrupt current trajectories. It would be interesting to hear if the panel has any examples of that. So any of you has some examples on how the importance of use and how it can be disruptive in the work that we do. Anybody wants to give it a try or has an example?
I can give it a go.
Yeah, please, Hassan.
Sorry, Hako. Just a very quick one. Really, we have seen from the experiences we had on the ground with the village-based advisor system or model, which attracts the youth into agriculture because it provides them an income. So we have seen that, involving the youth through an innovation that provides them an avenue to enter into the agriculture space, not as producers, but as service providers. They're able to connect with seed companies, with other input companies, and they get their income from commissions through their linkages with farmers at community level. So here is a model that we have tried, linked it with digital services as well, to provide them ease of communication for them to participate within the ag space, but specifically within the climate adaptation space. Thank you.
Thank you, Hassan. Great example from the business model side and the digital side that, of course, you super interested in. Great. Anybody else from the panelists who wanted to chip in?
Yeah, yes. No, I think an exciting program SMV is currently has is a program called Green in Ghana, where it works very much with opportunities for youth employments, and uses the approach, the push, match, and pull approach, trying to bring youth, particularly young girls and women, to participate in these new green jobs and green development opportunities.
Nice, thank you. Thanks for sharing. So I think we have another short session later of Q&A. So I think we can now move to the next session. So the next session is will be the breakout groups, where we all gonna, okay, so we have the slide here, thank you. So we're all gonna go into different groups to further discuss the topics that we have heard about in the different presentations and videos. So we have 3 different breakout groups. So the first one is on existing pathways for scaling adoption of bundled climate smart agriculture. Tilahun Amede, Head of Resilience, Climate and Soils Alliance of a Green Revolution in Africa, AGRA, will be facilitating that breakout group. Then we have a second one on aligning sustainable finance initiatives with climate information services and climate smart agriculture. Richard Newman from AICCRA, Sustainable Finance from IMI, will be facilitating that session. And the third one is on ensuring gender and social inclusion are core elements to climate information services and climate smart agriculture. Ibrahima Hatier, Research Director, Initiative Prospective Agricole et Rural, IPAR in Senegal, will be facilitating together with Sabine Homan Ketui, Senior Scientist, Innovation Systems for the Drylands Program in ICRISAT. So now I believe that we're gonna get the links pasted in the chat. And so you could then simply select one of the topics, the one that you're most interested in, and then move to that breakout group. And then at 3 or at 05, 5 minutes after the hour, we'll be reconvening